go, Ransom, Radio Memphis there with Rosalina. Ahead of that, it was Jasmine Kane and Brave here on this Wednesday, about to wrap it up for today here on the 25th. Coming up tonight is the Spud Goodman radio show, and then around midnight, it'll be an episode of From Radioland. Tonight, have a little discussion about Uvalde, of which I have here in your forecast. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. I know other things have happened in the world, and we covered some of it. 21 killed in the elementary school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. 19 children and 2 teachers, not including the grandmother and himself, the shootist.
Yeah.
Or shooter. I'm kind of at a loss of words here over this because I know it's been, in the news pretty heavily over here. The past 24 hours is when we first heard of it, and then by late yesterday afternoon, we started to really see the devastation left behind by this selfish prick that had been failed by our judicial system and our political system, which is what happened.
Oh yeah. And I'm a little surprised by that last little snippet I watched.
Well,
that's wow.
Well, there's a lot of outrage, and it's justified.
It is.
Absolutely, it's justified. I cannot even begin to fathom what the parents of these victims must be going through.
Well,
I can't. I see the pictures. I hear the sounds.
Right. And you see the reactions.
I see the reactions, and I see the emotions of not just the victims' families, but the reporters covering this, the law enforcement people that are having a hard time wrapping their hands around this whole thing and trying to understand what went down.
Right.
And not the why, but the how. We kind of understand a little bit of that. You'll never understand the why.
No, you won't.
You never will. The system failed.
Well, the system's broken.
Yeah, it is.
It's broken. And I'm tired of people saying, "Well, hell, look, the warning signs were there." Well, they have to be seen first of all,
and they have to be understood.
And
it's always after the fact.
Stricter gun laws would have taken care of possibly this problem right here.
It could have. I mean, yeah, you're not going to fully stop it.
No, you're not.
But you can get a bit of a head start on this sort of thing.
And I really don't see what the problem is with background checks, fingerprinting.
I don't see a problem with
that. And the righty-tighties really seem to have a problem with that.
Personally, I don't think any American, responsible or not, should be in possession of an assault rifle.
No.
That serves zero purpose.
No.
Or my home might get invaded.
By who?
Who's coming
Sasquatch?
to get you? Who's coming to get you? I don't. This is all rooted in fear. And fear often leads to outrage when things go wrong. And this went wrong. And now there is outrage. There is anger. Rightfully so. These were children.
Mm-hmm.
They were young children that will never grow old.
No.
They will never be teenagers. These parents must be gutted over this. And as am I. Look, I don't particularly care for kids, but Jesus Christ, they're innocent.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just arm everybody. Let's just make sure we need.
Yeah, where was the good guy with a gun in this case?
Well, it was a law enforcement officer that got there.
Well, it was, yeah.
But not after, 21 people died. I don't know that I have the words for this because it's sick. This kid was sick. The system is sick.
Yeah.
These people that are going to sit there, and this will come over through the weekend.
Yes,
they're going to justify their ability to maintain this whole Second Amendment thing. I get that, but I don't understand why we can't make it more difficult to get a gun.
Yeah.
It's harder to get a fishing license than it is a gun.
Actually, yeah.
You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to fill out paperwork, and you got to pay the money, and you got to do all this other stuff. Yeah, and it takes a little bit of time, but still, I'm using that as probably a bad example. Getting a driver's license, running for office, you got to play by the rules. You got piles of paperwork to do all of this stuff. But anybody can just wander into a store and buy a gun.
Yeah. Walmart, Walgreens,
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Dick's Sporting. No, you can't get them at Walgreens.
Not yet.
Not yet. But yeah.
Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah.
Go in there and do it all you want to.
And the thing is, it really is based out of fear.
Sure it is.
That's the only reason I own a gun. Because I'm afraid somebody's going to break into my house while I'm sleeping. Or try to rob me.
Or hurt a loved one.
Hurt a loved one, right. It's fear. That's the only reason. And the only reason I went and got a gun license back in 1999 was because the mall near me, an old lady was shot in the head for her purse. And those kind of things didn't happen in the suburbs of Houston. When that happened, I thought, wow, this world's not safe anymore. An old lady got shot for her purse outside the mall.
I've been to Uvalde many times. The lovely little town. Small town America. It's the last place you would think something like this would happen. And it was the most horrific of all these mass shootings we have heard so far.
Right, yeah.
They were 10 and younger. They're not going to have a first date. They're not going to...
Never going to go to prom.
No, they're not going to, do wonderful things with their lives.
Right.
That you hope. That's all been snuffed out. And there are going to be people who are going to defend it. And
there is no defense.
There is none. None whatsoever. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I will stand by this statement, that if you are pro-life, you best not be saying that with a gun. Because a gun doesn't do anything but kill. They'll say, the gun didn't kill it, the guy with the trigger did. Well, okay, stop him.
Right.
Stop him from having access to this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I have all the answers? No, I don't think anybody does. But there has to be some sort of reason injected into these arguments. Because by the time we get back in here next week, this is all going to have blown over.
I hope not, but I'm afraid you're right.
We've seen it time and time again. And, I when I do the show from Radioland, I always end it with, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and stop shooting each other. And that's just, I don't know, it falls on deaf ears, of course.
Yeah.
But, and Greg Abbott is an idiot.
Yeah.
And Ken Paxton is an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
The governorship, the government.
Dan Patrick.
The government of the state of Texas has failed.
Yeah.
Again and again and again.
It has.
And again.
Yeah. Beto O'Rourke went and confronted Governor Abbott during his news conference.
Yes.
And got cussed at.
Because he was upsetting the narrative.
Yeah.
There's an NRA convention this weekend in Houston.
Right.
Isn't that tone deaf?
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, thoughts and prayers. We had nothing to do with this.
But we're pushing the sales of guns.
They're pushing the right to bear arms. And it is a right. I understand that. It's guaranteed in the Constitution as well. But we must have...
It is, but it needs to be done intelligently and not just...
That ship has sailed.
I know. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it has.
Yeah. Few bad apples will ruin the bunch. And That's what's happening
Well,
here.
there's 50 of them in Washington that are fucking things up pretty good now.
That's true. You know.
And various governors, lieutenant governors, state attorneys general.
Yeah. The only other real thing I would suggest on this whole thing is if you've got young kids, you best pay attention to them and perhaps pull them out of public school. I'm not saying private schools are the answer. Homeschooling may be the way to go. At least it's safer.
Yeah. You know, nobody's going to get shot there.
Yeah. You're going to trust your kid's life to a $15 an hour security guard?
Yeah.
That may or may not even act on the behalf of what's needed to be done. He's too busy jerking off in the bathroom or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
You know? It's your kids, man. That's the future of this country. And they are targeted.
By other kids.
Yeah.
He was just a kid.
He was 18.
Yeah.
18 and a head
Still
full of Jell-O.
kid, yeah.
And he just...
Right.
Yeah. And this whole thoughts and prayers thing, you can take that, shove that right up your ass.
Oh, no kidding.
Just shove that dead square right up your ass. That doesn't get anything accomplished. Yeah, you can be sympathetic. Yes, you can be empathetic even.
But make a change.
You can sit there and go, oh, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. No, fuck off.
Right.
Do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Say something.
Then that's what needs to happen. The people need to speak up as a whole and speak to their representatives and let them know how they feel. And don't just let the squeaky wheel make the noise.
What's difficult about that is that when you do, you tend to be shouted down by the man on high.
Right.
How dare you say those things that are against my politics? Or don't make this a political issue. It is a political issue.
It is. It is completely a political issue.
As we've heard from several people, and I think even from our friends over at FSN, this is strictly an American thing.
And it is. This doesn't happen in other countries. You don't have school shootings in Great Britain.
Mm-mm. They did in Australia. And you know what they did? They outlawed guns right after that.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of permits to carry them.
Yeah.
You have to show cause and reason to have one. If you're a rancher, yeah, you'll probably get one because of, wildlife that has to be dealt with.
Right.
You live in the city? What the fuck you need a gun for?
Right. And so you can actually own them. You just got to jump through hoops.
Same thing in Great Britain. You can own a gun. You can own a gun all you want to in Great Britain.
That's called background checks and
responsibility. And proof of that and assumption of the responsibility of having the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Instead, we've got, hey, you don't need nothing. Just strap the gun on and away you go. You're good to go because you're the good guy with the gun. And not to cast too many aspersions here, but if the law enforcement community of this country even suggests that you should carry a gun, perhaps the cops need to step up their enforcement actions.
Yeah. Well, all the cops that I know,
that's a cop out, if you'll pardon the expression,
they're not in favor of these laws.
But they also will tell you best to have a gun.
Well, yeah, because now everybody has them.
So the solution is adding more guns? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, but...
And there'll be some dumbass that'll say, hey, there wasn't a gun in that classroom because the teacher should have had one, or the kids should have had one.
No.
Or the kids should have had bulletproof backpacks, so they should wear body armor.
Yeah.
All that.
That's not the solution.
They shouldn't have to do any of that.
That's a Band-Aid.
They were looking forward to the end of the school year, which was tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I really don't.
I don't either.
It angers me. I'm offended. I'm
insulted. No, that's a good way. Yeah,
I'm offended and insulted by the actions of all the people that were involved, except for the victims. They didn't do anything, dude. They were probably just still coming back from lunch, they're probably bitching about the whatever they had on, the square fish or whatever the fuck. They're worried about what they were going to do when the school let out, or what they were going to do this summer, or they're thinking of other things. They're not thinking about the fact that some dumbass with a gun's going to come in there and kill everybody in sight. The dude went into one room and did all of this damage. It was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, quite literally.
And those kids were probably freaked out by the sound. They were probably so scared they froze. What are they going to do? They've never experienced this. They've never had to. They never should have had to. And meanwhile, their parents and their grandparents and their siblings.
I can't even imagine what those people are going through.
I can't either. I can't figure that out. They sent their kid to school thinking they'd come home yesterday. Well, everything was going to be cool, and hey, we're getting you know how it is the last week of school. You're just riding the clock until the day they let you out. And you throw the papers down the hallway, and you go out and enjoy your summer, and you go fishing and go swimming and go doing what you do. They were 10. They were going home to play video games or whatever it is that they do.
And the thing is, we've been hearing about these kind of things for years.
Yeah.
And there are more of them now.
Oh, sure.
I am tired of hearing it.
I'm tired of talking about it.
And talking about it.
But it has to be done.
Something needs to be done. And I think
it has to be investigated beyond the actual crime itself. It has to be looked at on a psychological level. It has to be looked at on a statistical level. Mm-hmm. But the NRA and the Second Amendment people will not allow that because they know the truth and they don't want that to be public.
Right.
Oh, sweep that under the rug. I stopped getting mail from the NRA when I wrote back deceased.
Oh, really?
By gunfire.
Did you?
And I sent it back. Not at this address. Deceased by gunfire.
Wow.
I don't get mail from them anymore. I don't give a fuck about the NRA. That's a joke. That's a lobbying group.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
When I got my license all those years ago.
Yes.
A friend of mine asked me, you going to join the NRA? I said, I'm not getting put on any list. No, sir. I don't support those guys.
No, I don't. I'm surprised they're still around. Didn't they file for bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Didn't
And they've relocated to Texas, I think.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah. Open arms from Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick.
Come on. You ain't got a gun, we'll give you one.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have those answers, and I don't know. I'm gonna be like everybody else and just be sick to my stomach for a little while until it goes away, and then we're back to the way it was, and then
right.
I don't know, 10 days time, something else will happen or less. And everybody will say, hey,
what's going on?
Sandy Hook. Say, hey, Uvalde, Texas. Say, whatever. And it falls on deaf ears. Nobody pays attention.
Right.
Nobody pays attention at all. And if you happen to be a lawmaker, either in the state of Texas or Tennessee or Florida or Arkansas or wherever you are, or you're a congressperson and you happen to catch wind of these statements, do something.
Yes.
Just do your fucking job.
Well, the clip that I watched of Beto O'Rourke just now, first of all, I think he went in to really confront the governor. And frankly, I don't know why the parents of Uvalde aren't there saying, what the hell are you going to do?
They aren't there because they're in shock.
Yes, but
their kid is...
It was hypothetical, but... something needs to be done, and the politicians...
There should be people that should go to Houston at the NRA convention
and protest.
They should spill blood on every one of those people.
Yeah.
Make it out of Karo syrup and red food coloring. Do whatever you got to do. Make a bucket of it and pour it on every last one of them. Mark them.
Yeah.
Go look up how to make Hollywood blood. Make a shitload of it. It's cheap.
Yeah, it is cheap.
And then go there and make a statement because the blood is on their hands too.
Right. Yeah. Do that. I advocate that. Karo syrup and red dye number 5.
Red dye number 5 and a few drops of blue and a little bit of green.
Yeah.
And it comes out.
And then you get it.
That's that Brian De Palma blood,
That's
too.
a Brian De Palma. Yeah. Or you could use chocolate sauce.
Yeah, if
it were a black and white world, you could just use the chocolate, the Hershey's chocolate syrup. Cost a lot more, though.
Yeah, it would. Now, just get the Karo syrup.
Yeah, get the Karo syrup and the red dye.
It's sticky and stuff, but fuck it, I don't care.
I really don't care.